Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mack Flash Trivia. My name is Francois, and I will be your host for the next little bit. This is Seriously Trivia Live. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. And here we are, finally back with what I would venture to say the internet's best game show. That's what I'm going to go with. Seriously Trivia is here. We've got a bunch of people in the chat. I've seen all of these names scrolling by as I was frantically getting ready, i.e. sitting here worried about what I forgot. I think I got it all. Pretty sure I got it all. We'll find out sooner than later because it is time to play. This is how tonight is going to go. Everybody should have a whiteboard or a notepad in order to keep track of their answers. Maybe if you're competing against people in the same household, you might even set up a scoreboard for, that level of competition. How it's going to work tonight, as it does every night. Brain, Pinky, 10 rounds of 3 questions are coming at you, and we're going to do that twice. So it's a big mix of puzzles and trivia, and I got to say there's some pretty good shows. I also have I've got some more suggestions from players that were sent in that I have to say were right on par. You guys have figured out the spirit of this game. You're picked it up, you're tuned in, and you're sending in exactly the right stuff. When we pick a category, which you guys will be shouting out in the chat, and the order that you shout them out in is the order that we will be playing them in. As we pick them, there'll be 3 questions in each for only 20 seconds. You'll have to answer these 3 questions on your sheet or board, because immediately after I will be revealing the answers, you'll correct your own sheet or board, and then share your score in the chat with everybody else. Let us know what you got out of 3, and tally it up because we want to know at the end of the round what you got. Well, looks like there's still a bunch of people walking in tonight. And yes, here's the one thing. If you pray to something, if you're a praying type person, whatever it is that you pray to, whoever it is that you pray to, pray that the electricity doesn't go out in Amherstburg. That's pretty much going to require a miracle. So, gods, we're looking at you. Let's play some Seriously Trivia. Is everybody ready to go? It looks like we got a bunch of people here. 10 categories in this round. Quick sip of beer, and then your categories. Former and the latter. Doubloids. Mystery Bus. Golden Girl, or Golden Girl. Initial reaction. Yes and no. Quiz on. Songs in the key of. Flictionary. And Snatch. I just realized I did something, and I'm gonna go and roll with it. Why not? Why not? Let's take a look here. Where Peter's. Hey, Peter. We got, alright, starts it off with some Lloyds, and then following it up with a Golden Girl, and then, no Peters. Well, there are 2 rounds, Mike, you never know, songs, Golden Girl, songs first, there you go, Lloyd's songs, Golden, Former, there you have it, Snatch. These jokes are not going to make sense anymore. I screwed everything up. It's all good. We got this. Yes and no. You'll all see. It'll all make sense to you, but to me, it's going to make a lot less sense. Let's get started right now with Doubloids, and we'll know right away. You'll know right away what I mean. Another Ditloid category. Guess what? This is round 2 that we're playing first. That's right. I was like, yeah, we're gonna play round 2 first, forgetting that I'd put a bunch of references to round 1 in it. So there you go. There it is. There's what I forgot. I can hear you booing from here. It's fine. It's okay. I'm used to it. Let's take a look at this first Ditloid category of the night. Spoiler alert. Tons of Ditloids as promised. You guys had asked for a double dose, so let's get started. Ditloids are puzzles. They are acronyms of common expressions, sayings, or statements of fact. For example, here, if I said literature, 3 equals LP, you could say 3 little pigs. Hey, look at that. New examples, too. Wow, it's almost like I planned it. Fun and games is your first category. 225 equals S on a SB. Number 2 in this category of Ditloids, movies, 53 equals N on H, the LB. And finally, your final Ditloid for this round, math, 3 equals CR of TS. There we go. That's your Ditloids category. What a great way to start off the night with a little bit of a puzzle. Let's see how well you did on this one. And yes, more Ditloids to come in round 2. I feel like I watched a time travel episode of a television show today where things were looping and changing and stuff. And I think that's what happened. I must have messed with the time continuum. And that's what happened with my brain. We got 225 squares on a Scrabble board. That was your answer. And a bit of a warm-up. If you watched the warm-up show today that I did with Nate from 89X, there was some reference to an SB or Scrabble board as well in there. Not the exact same, but there it was. 53 equals number on Herbie the Love Bug, and that was in the movies category. And finally, we had 3 is the cube root of 27. Give yourself a point for each of those you were able to correctly identify, and share your score. Let us know what you got. Well, it's good to see that some people got 1, some people got 0, but some people still got 3 and 2 and 1s and 0s. Come on, power failure. Oh, man. All right, let's take a look at your next game then. I think it was Songs in the Key of was your vote for the next one. Don't forget, I've inverted round 2 and 1, so you know what that means. We're going to be getting to a certain portion of the show a little earlier tonight. And I'm telling you, it's not right now, but you may want to get ready because we will be hitting the shot of the night way earlier than normal because of my silly last-minute decision. Songs in the key of... Enough about that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Songs in the Key of Places answer questions about artists who are named after places. So it is the band or a musician that is named after a place. In this case, let's give a listen or give a look. Named for an entire continent, this band is known for their hit Heat of the Moment. Number 2. What band released many albums before hitting it big commercially with Feel It Still? Remember, it's a band with a place in its name. And finally, last one, songs in the key of places. This rap group was named after a street in Southgate, not a region in the Canadian prairies. Although I'm sure they're into grasslands. And that's songs in the key of places. 3 questions about bands that have places in their name. Let's take a look at the answers and see if you're able to match the ones I was looking for. We have got Asia, the heat of the moment. It was the heat of the moment. That's right. That's the one. Another continent name band, you could have went with Europe. That's right, the final countdown. We have Portugal, the Man, as band number 2, who are responsible for the hit Feel It Still. Love it or hate it, it's a big song, and it's by Portugal, the Man. And last but not least, this rap group, it was, I tried to shoehorn it in. It was Cypress Hill. That's right, Cypress Hill is an area in Alberta and Saskatchewan of grasslands, but that's not what they were named after. Definitely not. They were named after Cypress Hill, a street in their neighborhood of Southgate. So, Asia, Portugal, the Man, Cypress Hill. Give yourself a point for each of those, and let's move on. That last one was meant to be the tough one of the category for sure, but you gotta have those if you want to separate the strong from the weak. That's what you gotta do. Coming up, we've got your third game of the night. Some scores are pouring in right here. 1 out of 3, 3 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 3 out of 3, 0. 1, 2, 1. So it's all good. All sorts of fun stuff happening. Coming up next, we've got number 4. Golden Girl, and this one is an early shot of the night. Would you look at that? Well, that's right. I figured that would be an attractive category for you because people often talk lovingly of the Golden Girls. So I decided to make this one the shot of the night. Again, not intended for this early, but here we go. I like Tom's idea of 2 shots tonight, and I have an idea of how to make it work for the next round. For now, though, let's get our shots together. I've babbled long enough for you to get a shot glass, pour something into it. I've got my lucky shot glass right over here that's been carrying me for the last few months. And this one, I'd like to send out to Sue. Sue, you've been chatting and in the chat and playing along, and you sent me a couple great suggestions today, so thank you very much. This one goes out to you, and we'll see you in the games lounge after. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Can never do it. All right, here it is. Your category, Golden Girl. Check out these 3 questions about Betty White. That's right, somebody, I said, hey, what kind of topics, what do you guys want to see in tonight's game? What is it that you'd like to, see in a quiz? And somebody says Betty White, and I was like, I don't know if I can do that. And I was like, you bet I can do that. So let's check out 3 questions about Betty White. I know, we'll do another one. We'll do another one. Don't worry about it. On what show is Betty known for playing the character of Sue Ann Nivens? Taking a look through the chat here, we had some people, the blunt of the night. I like that. That's, if this room was well ventilated. What else we got? We got who needs a glass when you have a bottle? So there's that. Let's take a look here at, I bet he coughs. See? Why does he always cough? Because it's the fumes, baby. Number 2 about Betty White. What was Rose's last name on Golden Girls? Was it Nyland, McLean, or Gale? It was due. The Golden Girl category was definitely due. And it's only about the one, imagine. Number 3. In 2010, a grassroots campaign petitioned to have Betty White host What?, which she did and won an Emmy for. And there you have it. Thank you so much for the wonderful suggestion of Betty White. And anytime you guys have any ideas of things that you'd like to see at trivia, take a look. There's often a post that says, hey guys, what do you want to see? Or just send me a quick message. And don't be offended if I don't choose it. Maybe it's a topic that was too specific or really hard, or maybe I'm still wrapping my brain around it. But there you go. Sometimes it turns out well, sometimes it turns out better. And this was one of the better ones. Let's see what the answers are regarding Betty White. Her character was from the Mary Tyler show, Mary Tyler Moore show. There you go. The Mary Tyler show. That's it. No more. We got number 2. Rose Nyland was her last name in that one. Fun story I read about today. You guys probably know this already, but Rose and Blanche, the actresses, were actually switched, and Rose was supposed to. Betty White was supposed to play Blanche, and I forget the name of the other lady now. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, she was supposed to play Rose. And they decided, because they had already played very similar character in other series, that they would switch the characters. And so that's how Betty White got to play Rose. Saturday Night Live is what she hosted. She said, you know, the funniest thing she said on there, she's like, I didn't even know what Facebook was before this happened, and now that I know, it just seems like a real big waste of time, which I thought was hilarious. So there's your 3 questions about Betty White, and give yourself a point for each of those. Rue McClanahan, that's right. Rue McClanahan, thank you. All right, let's keep moving. With Former and the Latter, your next game coming up. It is a high-scoring game for this round. It is 9 possible points, and you get 0 explanation. I'm not going to tell you how this game works. That's it. Ready? I'm going to hit start now. That's how it works. All right. Let's tell you how this game works. You don't get an example, unfortunately, in written form here, but if you listen up, I'll be able to tell you. In each box, I'm going to give you 3 definitions, the answers to which are 1 letter off from each other. Those are the ones you have to figure out. For example, let me give you one. If I were to say a protective building, it would be a fort. A stinky gas would be a fart, which is 1 letter off. And then at the grocery store, you could find a cart, which is again 1 letter off. So you wanted new examples. There's one. There's no example there. So do that in each of the boxes coming up. Each 3 hints gives off an answer 1 letter off from the next. So let's take a look at your first combination. This is a 4-letter word. First one means make cookies. The second one is founded velodromes. And number 3, take one out of crime. Number 2, 4-letter word again. Birds do it with wings, humans do it with hands, and the part of something which attaches it. And finally, at number 3, it's a 5-letter word. Not once, not 3 times. A rough string and porcine creatures. And there you have it, everybody. That is your former and ladder. 9 points going to your team if you nailed each and every one of these answers. Let's take a look at what those answers are, shall we? Number one, we had to make cookies to bake. To eat cookies is to get baked. In a velodrome, you would find bikes or bicycles. And off one letter, you have a bite. What was the forget the clue for bite. Yeah, there you go. Number two, we had birds do it with their wings, flap. Humans do it with their hands, clap. And the part of that's something where it attaches a clip. There you go. Take a bite out of crime. Thank you very much, Dave. Dave, you must have a very good internet connection because your chats always come in timely. And I love it. Twice, not once, not three times. Rough string, twine. And then a porcine creature is swine. Give yourself a point for each of those that you got correct and let us know what you got out of 9 points for this former and the latter. Thanks for the kind words, guys. I'm glad that you enjoy Former and the Ladder. It is one of my favorite games to make, and I've been doing that one for a while on there. And I just always, it's always the first one that and Chain Gang. Those are the first two I always go to when I'm making a new game. Speaking of important things, let me tell you a little bit about our sponsor for this week. We got Littlefoot Foods on the roster, open up for curbside pickup Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 3 p.m. They're also offering limited hot food delivery through Uber Eats. Make sure you do visit their Facebook page to learn more or log on to littlefootfoods.com. Thank you to Littlefoot Foods for all of your support now, in the past, and in the future. We got ourselves Snatch coming up next, and Snatch is going to be your picture round, a double point picture round as a matter of fact, and again, a round that would have been funnier had we done it second. Well, it might work still. Name these cast members from the movie Snatch. So I want you to name the actors, and as a bonus, give the character's name. I don't know why I called it a bonus. The round's out of 10, okay? There's 5 pictures coming up. Name the actor and the character for each. I figure this round will really average out right around 5 points for everyone, because oftentimes you'll probably say, well, I know the actor, I don't know the character, I know the character, I don't know the actor. So that's my theory. Prove me wrong. Name these cast members from the movie Snatch and the character's name. Number 1. Well, Piper in Disguise, you may at least be able to name the actors if you recognize them. I'm sure you recognize this guy. This blew my mind a little bit because I did not realize, now I know what he's played recently, but going back, I did not realize he played this character. Today, just what? Number 3. Name this character from the movie Snatch and the actor who plays him. Sneaky sneak, I gotta say that is a good strategy. Answers Betty White 5 times, hopes for a miracle. She's had a very long and storied career. You know, that's a very good that's a good gamble. Definitely a good gamble. Well, this is it. That one goes out to you guys who have seen the movie Snatch, but are disappointed every time there's a Disney category at Seriously Trivia. So this one was for you. If you have not seen the movie Snatch, it's a very, very good. Please see it, and then see Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which is superior and came first. The answers go like this. These are the actors and characters we were looking for. In the role of Turkish, we had Jason Statham, the man that owns shirts only to take them off. Number 2, we had Stephen Graham in the role of Tommy. Stephen Graham played Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire, and he was also in The Irishman as another important gangster. And there you go. And did not realize watching all of those things that I was watching Tommy from Snatch. We had Brad Pitt there in fine form in the role of Mickey, or Mickey O'Neill. We had Lenny James in the role of Saul. Lenny James from The Walking Dead, I believe, most recently. And Vinnie Jones, the footballer turned actor, in his role as Bullet Tooth Tony. Another great one. This is the one with Lucky Star in it, if you're trying to remember which one is this of the Vinnie Jones characters. So there you go. Give yourself a point for each. And what is your score out of 10 in this round? Rock'n'Rolla was terrible, Mike. Why are you telling people to go watch that? Ooh. What the hell was Rock'n'Rolla even about? We got ourselves Yes and No coming up. If you remember, we premiered Yes and No last week, and I liked it so much, I wanted to run it into the ground. It even led to a few discussions, which was nice. So there you go. You enjoyed it, eh? You enjoy Rock'n'Rolla? Well, Snatch is about a lot of things, but it's about a stolen diamond and a boxing promoter and how all those plots intertwine. Rock'n'Rolla is about nothing. It's terrible. It's just an awful movie. Yes and No category about contronyms. These are words with two opposite meanings, and that does happen sometimes. We had one last time. One of the examples I could give you is from last time, where we had off, where something can be off, as in turned off, but something can be set off, which means it's turned on. So it can have contradictory meanings. I'm going to give you those two contradictory meanings or questions related to them, and you tell me what the contronym is that I'm looking for. I bet you love Swept Away. Oh my god, I didn't even bother with that one. Those who are gone and those who stay behind. You can use the same word to mean those two things. Number 2 in contronyms, it's to cut away or to add decoration. Same word. And finally, number 3. If it describes colors, they will not run. If it describes a person, it's likely running. What would you say? Gradually harder for these? I'd say so, but I think still attainable. And definitely a solid 2 out of 3 is my bet for most people. Let's take a look at these words that in various contexts can have opposite meanings. The first one, left. Those who left and those who are left. So in this case, left can mean 2 different things. In number 2, we had trim, which can mean to cut away, to trim something. But also when you trim the tree, you are decorating, you are adding to it. And last but not least, we had got fast. When the colors are fast, it means they will not run. They will stay to the shirt. But if a person is fast, they're likely running. So there you go. Left, trim, and fast. Those are the 3 we were looking for. And let's see what you got in those. While we're tallying the scores, let me tell you a little bit about a returning sponsor, Slices Pizza. They are back, and what I mean is they're not just back as a sponsor, they are back to stay in Walkerville. They're open for curbside pickup, takeout, and delivery every Wednesday through Sunday, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. right now. They have individual slices and personal and full-size pizzas available, so make sure you do give them a call or check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Slices Pizza to place your order online. There's some chat of terrible movies going on in the chats here, so I can't wait to catch up with that and see what you guys are planning and plotting over here. But I take a look here, we got some 3 out of 3, some 2s, some 1s. I gotta say, this night is all over the place, and pretty soon we'll be done this round and on to round number 2. Wink, wink. And 10 more categories for you. So hey, we're in for a bit. Settle in. Let's have some fun. I need some categories, guys. I got nothing over here. Initial reaction, Flictionary, quiz on, mystery bus. That's it. I'm down to 0 on my sheet. That's it. I've checked them all. And that's it. Hey guys, make sure you come back 10 o'clock. Don't come back, just stay with us. After this, it's Games Lounge, and we've got all sorts of cool little games planned out, where all of us will be taking turns hosting a card out of a board game, playing with you guys, playing with each other, playing with ourselves. You never know. It's a lounge. Let's go from the top here. We got ourselves a little quiz on, and then it goes to a little rebus puzzle number 3, and then it's gonna go to the initials. No, it's gonna go to flick, then initials. Flick, so number 9, and then it's going to go to 5. So let's do it like that. Quiz on hot dogs. Here's 3 very hard questions about hot dogs. Why? Because it's the last one I wrote. It was really late and I was starting to panic. Question number 1. Joey Chestnut just set the record for most hot dogs with buns consumed in 10 minutes. How many was it? 55, 65, or 75? Number 2, quiz on hot dogs. Both Skinner's Restaurant and the Half Moon Drive-In are famous Canadian hot dog institutions, both located in what province? And finally, third question about hot dogs. In what movie does Steve Martin spout Illuminati theories about buns in packs of 12 and hot dogs in packs of 8? Well, there you have it. First question, 1 out of 3 chance. Next one, 1 out of 10 chance. And the next one, well, you get actually a pretty good chance of knowing that. Let's take a look at your answers for quiz on hot dogs. This one's all about the wieners. Let's take a look at these wiener answers. 75 hot dogs. He ate 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes. It is the new record as of just recently, a few weeks ago. I did the math for you, so you would not have to. 8 seconds per hot dog. So there's a fun fact. It's always a good way of looking at it. Always calculate, how much time it takes to consume one of these items. For example, Nate, I believe you're watching and playing right now, and if not, Nate decided he was going to get into competitive eating. So has his Facebook post would lead me to believe, and so he looked up a bunch of records, and he came up with the one that he was going to do, which I think is great. It's olives. How many olives you can eat in a minute, and the record right now is 60 olives in a minute. Now you go, wow, okay, that's not too bad, 60 olives. In a minute, he's eating 1 olive a second. 1 olive per second. Can you, basically, what I said is, how's your gag reflex? Because you're basically just swallowing these olives completely whole. Completely whole. That's enough of that. Manitoba. These two institutions open in Manitoba. One of them, the first one, seems apparently to be open since the early 1900s. So there you go. Very old, continuously running hot dog shop in Manitoba. And number 3, it is from Father of the Bride when he's in the grocery store and he's removing the extraneous buns. Give yourself a point for each of those. 75, Manitoba, Father of the Bride. After these 3 categories are done, we're going to take a short break. Just enough time for you to go get a beer, go outside, stretch your legs, do whatever it is you need to do. Well, come on back because we got round number 2 with 10 more categories. And I'm telling you, there are some really good categories in that second round. Let's keep moving here with number 3, Mystery Bus. Mystery Bus or Mr. Rebus. Rebus puzzles are visual representation of common expressions or sayings. For example, here, I've got a brand new example for you, and hopefully it does the trick. If you take a look here, we've got 2 of the word late before the word it's. So we have before it's too late. Before it's too late. All right, so you have to take a look at these sayings. It helps if you say them out loud sometimes, but not, of course, if you're competing against people sitting next to you. That's counterproductive. Can you figure out what this rebus is trying to tell you? Number 2 in the Rebus puzzles. And finally, number 3 in your Rebus puzzles. And those are your Rebus puzzles, ladies and gentlemen. There they are. Hopefully you're able to come up with the expression or saying that they represented. let's take a look at those answers. I think some of you might have enjoyed that last one a little much. We had an upright piano in number 1. Number 2, against all odds. That's right, it was against, and then all of the number were odd numbers, so it's against all odds. And last but not least, yes, well hung. Give yourself a point for each of those rebus puzzles that you got, and let's move along with our next 2 categories. Nay. Nay. Oh my gosh. We got Flictionary coming up next. Flictionary goes like this. Yeah, I didn't use a level. Did not use a level on that one. No. That well hung was not well hung. It was hung a little crooked, as a matter of fact. Flictionary is like this. For each definition and movie description, give the word that belongs to both. These are one-word movie titles, and I'll give you a corresponding definition to help you pinpoint it down. Let's see if you're able to identify the word for each box. Number 1, maintained at a sub-zero temperature, or a 2013 animated film, or animated if you add amino acids to it. Number 2, taking action to correct previous wrongdoing, or a 2007 romantic war drama with Keira Knightley. And finally, number 3, an elaborate, confusing structure designed to hold the Minotaur, or a 1986 Jennifer Connelly movie. And there you have it, 3 Flictionaries, 3 movies, and 3 definitions that match the word in the title. Let's see if you were able to come up with the same ones that I did. Let's take a look at number 1. Frozen is what we were talking about, of course, maintained at a sub-zero temperature. Number 2, we had Atonement with Keira Knightley. And in number 3 for Flictionary, Labyrinth. There you go. Give yourself a point for each that you got: Frozen, Atonement, and Labyrinth. We'll see you back at the front for our final category. And some good scores all around for this Flictionary. We got one more round left to go. It is initial reaction. You know you've got 9 points possible in that one, and I tell you, it rides that line. This whole half, you can say it. You can say this whole round, I think, has been very difficult. I think round 1 will be a little easier on you, but we'll have to see. You still got a lot of points to be made in initial reaction, then a short break, and then we come back with round number 2, 10 more categories. So get yourself ready to go for that. Let's initial reaction, shall we? Initial here and here and here. In initial reaction, I'm going to give you some trios of people, but I'm just going to describe them to you. The thing is, in each box, that trio shares a set of initials. I want you to name everyone in there, but I'm not going to give you their initials. You're supposed to take a look around. One of them should strike you as obvious enough that you'll know the answer. You'll then know the initials, and you'll be able to confirm the other 2 people. That is kind of the goal and the hope in this game. 3 boxes uses 3 sets of initials. Let's get started with number 1. Name these 3 people right here. Originally played Marty McFly, NSA whistleblower, and Allie Mills from Karate Kid. All right, this time in this box, 3 new people. Again, sharing a set of initials. Dr. Joan Watson, the Warrior Princess, and Aunt Becky. And finally, in the third box, we've got a third set of initials, 3 other people. Can you name these people? The Iron Maiden singer, Robert Zimmerman, and Goop's mom. Goop's mom. And there we go, 3 people per box, all of them sharing a set of initials in each box. And all you had to do was figure out who they were, and 9 possible points going to your team. And don't forget, this is trivia. You're not supposed to get 9 out of 9. You can, but you know, getting a good 4 or 5 is still pretty solid when you think about it. Let's take a look at the answers for initial reaction in box number 1. We had Eric Stoltz, who originally filmed some of the first few scenes as Marty McFly, but was deemed too serious. Edward Snowden coming in at number 2 for ES, and Elizabeth Shue, who spells it with an S. Also spells Elizabeth with an S, which is odd. We've got number 2. We had Lucy Liu, the LLs. No cool J's here. Lucy Liu, Lucy Lawless, and Lori Loughlin. And last but not least, we had the BDs, Bruce Dickinson, Bob Dylan, and Blythe Danner. There are your, or the great. There's your initial reaction answers. Give yourself a point for each name you guessed, and give us your score out of 9 in the chat. Well, there we are at the halfway point of round number 1. I want to thank everybody for being here, no matter where you came from. Whether you're a regular who's been coming in every episode since the beginning, or you're just joining us tonight for one reason or another, thank you so much. You're always welcome to join us at these trivia nights. I am live 3 times a night, 7 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays with straight up pub trivia, and then it is seriously trivia on Fridays at 8, immediately followed by the Games Lounge with me and the Mack Flash crew at 10 o'clock. So make sure you do join us for that afterwards. Taking a look at your score, Mack Flash Mike informs me now that the total is out of 49 for this round. So thank you very much. And taking a look right now, we got 43 for the COVID Conman, 89 out of 49 for Sam I Am for the Team Let It Right. Good job. Christ Punchers with 39. Goop's mom. No, so I called Gwyneth Paltrow Goop. That's who I called Goop, and then her mom is Blythe Danner. You see what I mean? Yeah, I can see like the mother of the company, but you know, I called her Goop, figuring she was GP and nowhere near a BD. I thought maybe it would work. 32 for the Three Musket Beers, Cheating Cheaters with 25, Hot Mess with 33, the Los Tuenten Quarantinos with 25. The hackers with 26, 29. Everyone's got their score and all sorts of places there. So come back. I promise you. Round two. A delight. We'll be back in a quick. We don't have much time. 8:54. I got another place to be after this, and so do you. We'll be back in 3 minutes with round number 2. Welcome back to Seriously Trivia. My name is Francois, and I am still your host. That's right, they haven't fired me yet. I know. Yeah, yes, I'm gonna tell them about it. Anyway, it's fine. Don't, producer, right? Crazy. Welcome back to Seriously Trivia. For those of you who are just joining us, let me go over how today is going to work, or how tonight's working. We are playing some trivia. You play along at home, and this is how it goes. We have got, you're going to need a notepad or a whiteboard in order to play, in order to jot down your answers, because we're going to be playing 10 categories in this round, each of them with 3 questions. It is a mix of puzzles and trivia. You never really know what you're gonna get, unless you're from here, of course. Question period, when we hit a category, which you guys will be picking in the chat, and as you let me know the categories you would love to see, I will write them down on a little piece of paper here, and we're gonna play them in that order, because it's more fun and interactive. Discreetly answer your questions on the whiteboards or notepads as we go. because immediately after, it's answer time. That's right, I will be revealing the answer after every category. You'll be able to correct your own sheet or board and then share your score in the chat, keeping a tally, of course, of your total for the end so we can find out how everyone did. Round number 1 was here. It was all right. It happened. It had a lot of tougher questions in it. I gotta say, I don't know. I just went with my gut on that one, and there it is. So yes, for those of you joining in me for the first time in a week, I was fortunate enough to hit the barber. And I didn't hit the barber, I rewarded the barber for hitting my head with a bunch of blades, and I turned out like this, so not bad. Thank you very much for noticing. Not that you could not have not noticed. It would have been impossible. Let's get going here with games. Take it easy on us, you tyrant. Lloyd's, eh? Peters, eh? Let's see, which one did you call out first? Well, let's name the categories and see what happens. We've got Life on the Chain Gang. It is here. It feels just like Spencer for hire. This one goes out to Spencer. I don't know if you're watching, but there you go. When we were talking earlier on, I took your name and I thought, hey, I'm gonna write a category for Spencer. Lloyd Merriweather. Hey, Lloyd Merriweather. That's what happens when you start writing trivia while drinking your third sip of coffee, not cup of coffee. Same but diff. Ms. Remember. Quiz on. Songs in the key of. Another Chapter is back. Gone to Pot. And Pictures of Peters. Pictures of Peters. You see now why Snatch would have been funnier the second time. All right, let's take a look. We got Peters coming up next, so number 10, and then it's going to be the Ditloids, number 3, Pizza Papalis. What do we got next coming up? Another Lloyd. There we go. Still, you cut your hair. Coffee? No, yeah. Chain Gang. Oh, yeah, Chain Gang. We're going to do that next. Chain Gang, and then it's Ms. Remember, and then it's Merriweather. Oh, that's Lloyd's. We already got that covered. All right, so let's get started. I'll write these down because this is not good entertainment right now. Hey, and next on Francois Takes Notes. Yeah, it's good entertainment right there. Especially with this music. I'm gonna make a 1-minute video of me taking notes to this song and just post it for you guys, and then whenever you need to remember stuff, you can just use that. All right, let's get started with Pictures of Peters. Yeah, small Peters, big Peters. Name these Peters. 5 pictures coming at you, and all you gotta do is name these Peters. And there you have it, 5 pictures of Peters. See, That wasn't as hard as you thought it was gonna be. Let's take a look at the answers for these 5 pictures of Peters. All you had to do was name the Peter, whether it was a real or fictitious Peter. First one, Peter Dinklage, very real indeed. Number 2, Peter Griffin, not real. Peter Falk, very real. Peter Boyle, also, well, was real, no longer real, but definitely a real person. And Peter Quill, fictional character. Give yourself a point for each of these Peters, and yeah, we'll see you back at the front. I have done a little experiment for tonight, seeing as I kind of screwed things up when I switched the rounds around. I wrote down on my piece of paper right here a color. It's one of the colors from the menu, and whichever color, whenever the first one of that color that gets picked, that will be the next shot of the night. So for those of you who weren't ready for the shot of the night before and you missed it, get yourself ready now. You should have done so during the break, because the time, and I'm not telling you the color, I've got it right here, and I wrote it down before we got started. So the first one of this color that gets picked will be the shot of the night. Again, the second shot of the night for the first time ever. Well, let's take a look here at the scores. We get some 4s. We get some 4s, some 2s. Very limp 2, 4, 3 with some silly mistakes. That's always terrible. And let it ride. You know your Peters. Hey, Peter. All right, so what do we got coming up next? It is, as per my list, the Lloyds, Lloyd Merriweather. And I'll tell you right now, I had written down the color orange right there. There it is. So it is time for your shot of the night. I gotta refocus the camera. There we go, we're back. It is time for your shot of the night because you guys picked Lloyd's, and there it is. So if you did not do your shot of the night already and you want to do one, I'm gonna do one with you because why not? It's Friday night and that's what we're doing. And Games Lounge is gonna be that much more fun tonight. Oh boy, it's gonna be an interesting thing. So there you have it. This is the time of the night where we all get together and we do a shot, whether it's water, wheatgrass, or whiskey, whatever it is that you're doing. Just come together. Just take a swig of your beer or your water or whatever you're drinking. And I'm going to need to send this one out to someone as well. Because he's just so awesome and so knowledgeable, and yet so quiet all the time. And I just wonder sometimes, you know, I want to delve deeper into that great mind of his. This one goes out to Matthew Robbins. This one's for you, buddy. There you go. Sneaky sneak, I'm not gonna cough. I'm not gonna do, damn it. I always cough. All right, here we go for Lloyd Merriweather. Ditloids, baby. Oh, is that again another example? Another different example? Well, there you go. Ditloids music. 99 equals a B of B on the W. 99 equals bottles of beer on the wall. Let's take a look at your 3 Ditloids for this category. Religion. 12 equals A at the LS. I just noticed the conversation happening with the always blue, always blue. I'm not used to that. If you're playing Portal, you need both. You need the orange and the blue. You can't have one without the other. That's all I'm going to say about that. Number 2, poetry. 5L in a L. And finally, music. 3 equals TAL by the sea. Tom, good question. Wheatgrass is the freshly sprouted first leaves of the common wheat plant used as a food, drink, or dietary supplement. All I know is that it looks like your lawn, and then they cut it up, and then they squish it and juice it into a little shot glass, and you're supposed to do a shot of it, and apparently it's good for you. So don't forget, next time you mow your lawn, keep the clippings, squeeze some juice out of them, and drink that stuff up, baby. It's good for you. Yeah. Let's take a look at the answers for this Lloyd Merriweather, which is pretty much what we've been having all week. First one, 12 equals apostle at the Last Supper. That's right, apostles at the Last Supper. Number 2, we have got 5 lines in a limerick in the category of poetry. And number 3, 3 equals times a lady by the Commodores. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. And there you have it. Give yourself a point for each of those ditloids that you're able to solve. You guys have picked the first 8 games in a row, which is hilarious because I'm taking a look at the ones you stayed away from. You probably went, I don't know any Spencers, so I am not picking that at all. Everyone stayed away from that, and no one has said gone to pot yet. So, all right, well, let's carry on with your next game. It is Life on the Chain Gang, and the scores are looking pretty good right now for some. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Life on the Chain Gang. Let's take a look at this. In each box, I'm going to give you 5 words. The 3 in the middle contain blanks. Those are the ones you have to figure out. Now, the cool thing is that you can use every word with the next one to form a common expression or saying. For example, here we've got hot summer, summertime, time out, and outshine. There you go. Carrie. Naughty hookers, come on, come on. All cylinders right here with the new examples. No one's mentioned it yet. No one's brought it up. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, you know, I do these things and, you know, but sometimes you just want people to notice. I'm kidding. Let's take a look at your chain gang coming up right now. Let's do this 3 times. 9 possible points coming to your team. Django. Yeah, that's just a chain gang. I got excited. Number 2 in your chain gang. Yeah, Changnesia. And finally, number 3 in chain gang. It's literally, if we would let, if they would have let Community go one more season, Chang probably would have had some sort of thing, and this would have come up. So, if anything, I'm ahead of behind my times. So there you go. Hey everybody, 3 different chain gangs here. 3 possible words to solve per chain gang, which means 9 possible points coming at you. Let's take a look at the answers for these chain gangs. Skid mark, markup, upend, and end times. So there you have it. Number 2, cowbell, bellhop, hopscotch, and scotch tape. And in number 3, showboat, boathouse, not to be mistaken with a houseboat, by the way, house wine, and wine label. Give yourself a point for each of the words in the middle you got correct. Mark, up, and, bell, hopscotch, and boat, house, wine. And let us know what your score is out of 9. Yes, a houseboat you live in. A boathouse your boat lives in. Okay, Sam, I am. Just bought some cowbell beer today. I'll tell you a secret right now. Do you know why that says cowbell right there? Because I just looked around and I was like, what am I gonna, and I saw a can of Cowbell Brewery beer and I went cowbell, and that's how I started it. So boom, fun fact, and how cool is that? Hey guys, our main sponsor this week is Oven 360. They have 6 locations across Windsor, Essex County, and Chatham, and they're all about crafting the freshest, perfectly cooked pizza. They have, of course, signature pies, paninis, but you can also design your own. They've got tons of toppings, veggies, meats, cheeses. They're open for takeout and delivery, as well as patio dining, so check them out on Facebook or order online at oven360.com. What do we got coming up after this? It is Ms. Remember. Ms. Remember was sent to me as well as a suggestion of a phenomenon that I find absolutely fascinating. Upon researching it further, I realized that there are way more examples than I was even aware of. And so you can expect this category to come back a lot, and I hope you enjoy it. These are questions about the Mandela effect. Let me tell you a little story about the Mandela effect in case you don't know what it is. The Mandela effect is basically the fact that some people are convinced that something that has never happened has actually happened. But the thing is, it's an overwhelming sense of belief to the point where it's collective also. That many people have this collective recollection of something that never in fact happened. It gets its name, of course, from Nelson Mandela, who died in the 2000s. But was a lot of people think he died in prison, and they vividly remember him dying in prison in the 80s, which he did not, but a lot of people think that. That is the Mandela effect, and I'm probably boring some of you who know about this, so let's get started. 3 questions about the Mandela effect. Let's see if you can pick up on that. What family of literary bear's name has always been spelt with an A and not an E, as some are convinced? Number 2, is it Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes? And finally, number 3, try as hard as you can to remember, which of these does the Monopoly man not have? A top hat, a bag of money, a monocle, or a red bow tie? Which one does he not have? I hope I've entertained you with these questions. If not, I hope I've at least ignited battles in your houses. Because I'm sure I have. I was blown away by some of these things that we collectively remember as being so, and yet they are not and have never been. There's no reason. Let's take a look at the answers for these Mandela effects that I was talking about. The first one, and a classic example, it is the Berenstain Bears. Always has been spelt with an A, never. As much as you're going to argue with me that you remember a book and you owned it and it had an E on it, it did not. So there you go. Number 2, it is and always was Tunes, Tunes. It doesn't make any sense. You would think they're cartoons and you know, they're tunes, Toons. Nope, it is Looney, Tunes, and has always been. I know. You ready? You're like, yes, Francois, we knew those. Blow my mind with your next one. Does not wear a monocle. Anytime you see him with a monocle, it is not the real rich uncle Moneybags, rich uncle Pennybags, I think. The real one does not wear a monocle. He has a red bow, he has a top hat, he has a bag of money, even carries a cane sometimes officially, but does not have a monocle. A lot of people say it's the confusion with the Planter's Peanut. Ash Vortex, thank you for the wonderful suggestion. Really great. When it came up, I was like, yes, I definitely have to do that. And I found so many more that I want to talk about right now, but it's not the time, and I'm gonna save them for the next game because there's a lot out there. But of course, by then you'll have done all the research, you'll have gone online and read about all these weird Mandela effects, and then the ones that you actually fall victim to, that's even worse. All right, we've got Gone to Pot. I thought no one had picked it, but somebody did. It's right here on my list. So Gone to Pot, quote unquote, each of these answers will contain the letter combination P-O-T somewhere in the word. They're going to be together. It's not going to be the letters P-O-T just randomly somewhere. No, it's P-O-T either at the beginning, middle, or end of the word. Let's take a look at these 3 questions. Said of a being who is capable of everything or is all powerful. Mike, if you have an entire game based on Mandela effects, I need it. I need it. Number 2, simply put, it means extremely clean. Bravo, Mike. Well done. Well done. I was sure I had one. What's that mistake I made about the Shaq movie? Kazam? Gone to Pot. Question number 3. A district or establishment offering erotic pleasures or entertainment. I always get those wrong, but Kazam. Everybody gets it wrong, except you guys. That's why I keep you around. I was gonna go, an establishment offering erotic pleasures. There's no pot in Francois' house. And then I thought, wait a minute. Let's take a look at your answers for Gone to Pot. 3 answers that contain the letters P-O-T somewhere in there. Omnipotent. Omnipotent? Omnipotent. There you go. I had to practice that, and then I had to say it wrong because it's still funny to say it wrong. Spotless. Spotless. Extremely clean. Spotless. And finally, a flesh pot. I just thought that sounded really like It sounds like the fleshlight you buy at Dollar Tree. Give yourself a point for each of those. Mr. Proper. No, you shouldn't buy anything with the word flesh at the Dollar Tree. You know why I know so much about the Dollar Tree? Did you ever go in there high? Oh my God. First of all, it's so disorganized. And then second of all, you just keep walking up and down and up and down. And every time you see this one thing and you go, what is that? I didn't even know I needed this, but I think I do. Welcome to the Dollar Tree. I know. You thought Dollarama was crazy. Dollarama's like going to the basement of an old store. You're just gonna find really old merchandise that's still probably good. Dollar Tree is like going to the attic of a haunted house. You're just gonna see all sorts of stuff that you never believed existed, and you understand why they've been put away. Let's take a look at your next category. It is Quiz On. Quiz On Catch. I used my random word generator. I hit it about 25 times and then it said catch. And I said, okay. Oh. And then I threw it back. You see how I throw? That's the proof that I don't play sports. Let's take a look at your first question about Quiz On. As a catcher in the Major League Baseball, what is the only award that you can win in that position, specifically because you're a catcher? Like, I'm not saying the MVP award. This is very hard to word for me because I'm not a sports guy, but you know what I mean. I'm not talking about an award that anyone can win. What's an award a catcher can win? There's only one. Number 2. What 2006 film starred Jennifer Garner, Timothy Oliphant, and Kevin Smith? Runs pretty good for a catcher award. Best at crouching. The Best at Crouching award. Number 3, name for a paradoxical situation from which an individual cannot escape because of contradictory limitations. Yeah, that's right. I never said that it wasn't a bad award. Maybe the catcher is winning like a terrible award, like Piper in Disguise said a Butterfinger award. Possibly like a Razzie, but for baseball players, which I'm sure exists, and you guys are probably going to tell me about it in about 7 seconds. Quiz On Catch. Let's take a look at your 3 answers. It is the Gold Glove Award. There is no specific award there's no secondary award. There's no other award that you can win solely for being a catcher. The only thing you could win for being a catcher is being the best catcher of that year, and that would be the Gold Glove Award, which is handed to every position. So there you have it. It's the only real. There's no best pitcher or best catcher award specifically. Catch and Release is the movie I was referring to from with Timothy Oliphant, Jennifer. Did I say Jennifer Garner? Yeah, Jennifer Garner and Kevin Smith. And Catch 22, as in the name of the novel. Give yourself a point for each of those, and we'll see you back at the front with some more trivia. He may win the Silver Slugger, but I don't know what the Silver Slugger is. Is it awarded solely to catchers? That's what I meant. I meant like an award that is awarded solely to catch. You know what? That's probably how I should have worded it. I should have said, what award is awarded solely to catchers in the Major League Baseball? And then the answer would have been the Golden Glove for catcher, position of catcher. There you go. There you have it. Let's take a look at your next ones. We are going into songs in the key of... Songs in the key of four-letter words. These are songs with four-letter titles. Nice and simple. Well, simple enough when it comes to the name, but let's take a look at the questions that go with it. Contrary to popular belief, this song by Radiohead is not called You Do It To Yourself. Ah, the puns are coming out. At first, I was wondering what Mike found offensive in our conversation, and then he realized it was an offensive, not a defensive award, an offensive or an offensive award. Offensive, offensive. All right, four-letter word title here. After Long Day, this was the second single off of Matchbox 20's debut album and decidedly one of their biggest hits. And finally, number 3. What Smashing Pumpkins song famously asks, "Wanna go for a ride?" Neil, are you talking ill of my man Rob Thomas? I gotta say, when that first album came out, man, there's something about it that really caught everyone's attention. I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the song that we are actually in fact talking about may have made it onto a Big Shiny Tunes record, which means you're immediately an instant legend. That's it, you've made it. You're on Big Shiny Tunes? What? Then you bow down, baby. That's right. Songs in the key of whatever we were doing. Four-letter words. I was like, songs in the key of answers. That makes no sense. Songs in the key of four-letter words. Just, you do it to yourself, you do, and that's why it really hurts. That song is called Just. Number 2, we had Push by Matchbox 20. I want to push you around, and I will, and I will. And last but not least, Zero by Smashing Pumpkins. Wanna go for a ride? Yeah, that's right. Party down. Wrong Rob Thomas, Mike. What are you talking about? Come on, man. The thing is, that Rob Thomas also created some weird stuff. We got 3 categories left, but not before I give a big thank you to our team sponsors this week. That's why we have businesses that sponsor every week, but we also have some teams that join in the fun, and you may have seen their logos, and their logos are always the funnest logos on the side display. The big thanks this week going out to 2 teams, the Dream Warriors. Thank you to all of you for playing around, and I saw you guys in the chat all week, and I do very much appreciate it. And thank you to the Hackers here always, and we are not done. We are heading out into the Games Lounge, where I know you're going to be, because that's the type of awesome people you are. Thank you, Dream Warriors. Thank you to the Hackers, and thank you to everyone who stands behind the show and helps me just bring it to you in one way or another. Really, whether it's by your attendance or financial support or both, it's very much appreciated. Oh yeah, I purposely talk terrible. I purposely talk terrible in front of teachers just to really annoy them. What do we got coming up next? It is songs. No, it's not. We just did that, Francois. Come on, man. We got another chapter coming up right now, and then we got Same But Diff and another chapter. Another chapter is here, 1997 edition. That's right. I totally lazed out and decided I was going to go with all movies from 1997. In another chapter, what I do is I give you 3 chapter titles from the DVD of a specific movie. All you got to do is tell me what movie each group of trio chapter title. What the heck did I just write there? That doesn't even make sense, guys. Name the movie for each group of trio chapter titles given. Well, you know what I meant. James Edwards, Jeebs, Little Dude and Big Dude. Yeah, possibly a little bit. I have to draw you Verdell Jumps Cracks. No thanks required. Great movie. What 1997 movie is this? And last but not least, tell me what DVD, what movie are these DVD chapter titles from? Big Boy Descends, Living Dangerously, Welcome to VirtueCon. Well, there you have it. That is another chapter. 3 DVD chapter titles per box, each of them representing a movie. Hopefully you were able to find that one hint that really drove home what movie title I was looking for. Let's see at these let's take a look at these answers. We have Men in Black coming in with the first chapter being the name of Agent J, or Will Smith's character. Jeebs, of course, Tony Shalhoub in there, and then I forget what the last one was, but there you go, Men in Black. As good as it gets, really good movie. I watched that one by accident, and I remember really enjoying it, and I'm thinking I need to rewatch that movie very soon. It's so great. Good old Jack Nicholson in there. Oh my god. And the last one was Austin Powers 1, or Austin Powers International Man of Mystery. The first Austin Powers movie is what I was getting at. Point for each of those. And let's keep moving on. Keep on moving on. Some great stuff going on in the chat there. We got some comment. There you go. Bring these categories with fun categories with weird instructions to the warm-up show. Yeah, all right. You know what, Nate? We're gonna have to talk about some of these categories that you'd like to see, and then maybe we'll bring those next time. If you guys haven't seen those, make sure if you're on Facebook or Instagram. First of all, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, make sure you do follow Mack Flash and check out also the official 89X. We've been cross-promoting together, doing some promos on Fridays, but it's basically just this. We're playing one round of these games, me and Nate. Well, I bring the games and he plays, and he's been good enough to, really, like, I don't mean good enough performance-wise. I mean, like, you put yourself out there, man. Like, every Friday, you're like, all right, here we go. I am going to get quiz in front of everyone. and whatever I get, and I love that. So make sure you guys seek out the Seriously Trivia warm-up show. It's on the Mack Flash Instagram and Facebook, and also on the official 89X Facebook and Instagram as well. So there you go. And it is 89X, that's right. What do we got here going on? Spencer for hire, same but diff. Guys, I have nothing on my list. You guys have not picked anything. You haven't you haven't made a choice. Oh yeah, while you guys are making your choice, I want to echo, like, everyone's super pumped about Games Lounge. You have to come out to this thing. It's at 10 o'clock tonight, and it's in about 20 minutes. After this, immediately after this, I shut down. I run over to Studio B, and we get all like chilly, and we just like, woo, we just chill out and we play board games together, and we play with you guys as well. So it's a lot of fun. You get to see a lot more people. I get to give my voice a rest, and I know everyone's got a bit of that little winky sort of, I'm bringing something. So I think we're gonna have a fun night. I think it's gonna be fun. What do we got here? It looks like it's ding 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 ding. Same came in first. Michelle said it. She said same but diff, and then everyone said Spencer. So we're gonna finish off with Spencer. We're gonna start with same but diff. Same but diff, it is homophones. Fill in the blanks in each sentence with words that sound the same but have different meanings. If you're ready, you know how to play this. I'm going to give you a sentence, and within the context of that sentence, you can fill in the blanks with words that sound the same but mean different things. He forgot this was pub trivia, and he wasn't blank to say the answer's blank. Number 2, Susie became quite blank around the other players after she blank a perfect game. And finally, the thing about blank bushes is that you don't want to blank them too deep. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'd like to remind everyone, this is not Mad Libs. This is not just put in whatever word you feel works. And I mean, hey, if that makes you laugh, then good. But remember, we were looking for homophones, words that sound the same but have different meanings. They could even have been spelt the same in this case. I'm not exactly sure. That's not the button I meant to push, but let's do this. Let's take a look at your answers. I'm back. Hello again. Let's take a look at the answers we had. Same but diff. First one, he forgot he was at pub trivia, and he wasn't allowed to say the answers aloud. There you have it. Number 2, she became very bold around the other players once she bowled a perfect game. She got a little cocky, and the thing about berry bushes is you do not want to bury them too deep. So there you go. Give yourself 1 point per pair. This is out of 3 because they do rhyme. So once you get 1, it's pretty easy to get the next one. So give yourself a point for each. This round is out of 3. Blue and blue. Wait. For what? For which one? For... Blue and blue. Wait. Oh, I'm trying to think. Wait, not for the pub trivia, that's for sure. She became blue after she blew. Oh! So my mind was not like she blew the game. I was like, who did she blow and what did she get? And I realize now, yes, she became very blue, as in sad around the other players because she screwed up her perfect game. Man, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's very good. Peter! Hey, Peter! Yeah, there you go. Okay, I will give you blue and blue. That's really good. I'm writing that down because I'm supposed to use the show again. All right, no, let's take a look at this. Give yourself a point for each. This used to be a family show, Neil. It used to be a family show. Hey guys, I would be remiss, but I want to tell you, and this is actually very important. I forgot a sponsor, and I have to tell you, Grass's Landscaping, and I'll tell you why. It's because it's right there at the top of the page, and I thought I'd gone through it already. But thank you to Grass's Landscaping. I will give you this, and I've said this before. Grass Landscaping is the perfect example that advertising works on this show. Bruce has gotten to give, I think he's given like 2 or 3 quotes, and actually has gotten 2 or 3, maybe 2 contracts because of this show. Definitely one, and I saw someone else who was a fan of Mack Flash who went with Grass Landscaping and was very satisfied with the results. So thank you to Grass's Landscaping for standing behind the show. And if you guys also want to advertise on here, whether you're a team and you want to show your support, or you're a business and you got something to show, let me know. Contact me. Get a hold of us, and we'll work that out. Our rates are cheap, baby. We got Spencer for Hire coming up next. Have you guys seen Spencer Confidential with Mr. Wahlberg? It was pretty good, I gotta say. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that movie. This is not what this is about. No. Spencer for Hire, questions about famous Spencers. I got an email from a Spencer today who was asking about having trivia for his birthday, and he's very excited about it, and he wishes his girlfriend would get him a trivia show for his 30th birthday next year. So I thought I'd help him out a little bit and do a round all about famous Spencers. How many can there be? What American actress is mostly known for voicing Summer Smith in the hit animated series Rick and Morty? It's not homophones? Homographs? Homophones? I don't know how to say it. Somebody just... And now no one can... And you can just... All you can do is type it, and I don't know. I think I've been saying it wrong every time, and you guys just think it's charming, and you let me say it the way I say it. Whatever. I'm French. Homophonophobic. Number 2, once having a show with Kenneth Hotz, Canadian celebrity Spencer Rice is better known by what name? Question mark. And finally, number 3, Spencer for Hire, major British multinational retailer with headquarters in England that specializes in selling clothing, home products, and food products. What are they called? You like that, Nate? You ever met him? Yeah, if you ever met him, you would know why I put celebrity in quotes. There you have it. That was Spencer for Hire. I'm not going to go into this in front of all of these lovely people, but one day I'll feel comfortable enough to do that. It is 3 questions about famous Spencers, your last category of the night. Spencer Grammer, the voice of Summer Smith on Rick and Morty. She's done other things as well. We've got Spenny of Kenny versus Spenny. That's right, Spencer Rice. And last but not least, the store Marks and Spencer. That's what we were looking for in Spencer for Hire. Give yourself a point for each of those. And if I go back to the front, I am convinced I will find myself a blank screen. Bum, bum, dum, bum, 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 bum. There you have it, everybody. That is this week's Seriously Trivia. As your scores trickle through the chat and I take a look at your awesome accomplishments, Mack Flash Mike informs me that it is out of 38. Low scoring, but of course the last one we had two 9-point games. Thank you very much. Sam I am 35 out of 3,000 for Team Let It Ride. Good score, good game, possibly your best one so far, but lowest percentile. Good job, everybody, and I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves. I know the first round was a little tougher, but I think I made it up in that second round. Don't forget to join us in the Games Lounge in just about 10 minutes. Where has the time gone? I am looking for that link right now so that I can invite you over to the Games Lounge. I would love for you to be there and play some more games with us. We've got all sorts of board games. Everyone always brings something really, really interesting. And so there it is in the chat. I added it. My name is Francois. I have been your host. You've been the players. It's been a great time. I tell you what. We'll see you next time on Mack Flash Trivia, shall we? Don't forget about the stuff this weekend. We've got Weird Al Yankovic and Lonely Island coming up tomorrow morning. Harry Potter Part 4 on Saturday night. And then we got some sports stuff happening on Sunday. And then we're back at it again next week, over and over. Trivia every day. It's what we do. Ciao, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Come to the Games Lounge.